I think I may have caught that pace. So I am here today with Lisa Sharp, who is one from ClearCom Space. So I've just done an interview with her in regards to her challenge, but this specific interview is in regards to her experience with the E.A.T program. Not only is she an alumni, but she also has a bonus module inside the course. And the E.A.T course is over 6 weeks, 6 weeks of content. And then there's 8 or 10 weeks worth of videos in there, along with a private Facebook community, along with me being in the Facebook community, posting, my random musings. I kind of watch the temperature of the group and pop in there with short videos and answer office hours questions. And then, of course, this October, I'm going to be teaching live alongside. So you've never actually worked with me live alongside, but Lisa has worked with me one-to-one and also followed along in the self-study course. So I brought her in today because I always say that as passionate as I am about my program and what I've built, nobody speaks louder than the people who are actually in the classroom, taking in the content for the first time, engaging in the community, and really seeing these life-changing shifts. So, Lisa, I want to hear from you about how has your experience been going through E.A.T? Give me an overview of from the time you signed up to kind of where you are now and all the little kind of shifts in between.
Oh my word. Seismic shifts, not little
Seismic.
shifts.
I love that.
Seismic. Yeah. It's been a hell of a journey. And I so passionately love your program. It has made such a profound change in my life, and it's rippled out to my family, which I'm just over the moon about that. So as an entrepreneur, I've had my business for 2.5 years, and I really put myself at the bottom of my to-do list. And my health was really suffering. I definitely had entrepreneurs behind from sitting here typing all day. And I just really was so wholly focused on that I really was not taking good care of myself. And I realized over this spring, I had a breakdown that you helped me through. It sounds really silly, but I bought myself a salad for lunch. I left my house instead of working, and I bought myself a nice, organic, beautiful salad. And it brought me to my knees. A salad brought me to my knees. That's the truth. Because it was my first step in being nicer to myself. And I hadn't realized how poorly I had been treating myself for how long until I took that first step. And then you and I had that initial conversation in which I just boo-hooed. And yeah, there were some really deep core beliefs going on there, core memories that affected my everyday behavior. And I really wasn't even aware of a lot of them. So just having that self-knowledge has been unbelievably empowering. It's shifted everything for me. And so that's just the mindset part of it. And the mindset, is the E.A.T program itself is completely different than any other food plan or food idea or whatever that I have followed before. It makes far more sense. I feel way better than I have ever felt, really. But the mindset stuff is what keeps me on board. It's what keeps me on track, because I know how to take care of myself now. And it's still a process. It's not like I've done the program for a couple of months and now I'm fixed and I know how to do everything perfectly, but I know how to allow myself to be imperfect, to allow myself to not beat myself up when I make decisions that aren't going to make my body feel good. And that treating myself with food, which I had done for years, was no treat. It was just crap. It was really not a nice thing to do. So yeah, I feel amazing.
What's interesting is, and I see this over and over again, so many women are focusing on their weight and wanting to lose weight. And I can appreciate that. But the piece that they're missing, and what you just brought up here, is they don't recognize that food is actually how they're abusing themselves. So they're so focused on, what do I need to do to lose the weight? So I'm going to deprive myself. Or they're just using food, period, in their lives very unconsciously as a way of feeling like crap, like it's a way of self-abuse. So that's why that salad brought you to your knees, because it was your first kind of act of, food matters to me. Like, I can't keep treating myself like this. So it wasn't about weight loss. it was
Oh
about, I
no.
can't keep treating my body like this and putting myself at
Yeah.
the bottom of my pile. And I always say that, food in my world is one of the cornerstones of self-care.
Mhm.
I mean, everything
Yeah,
comes from what you eat. So
absolutely.
how have you found because when I talk about eat, the mindset is huge. And then you've got the actual food pieces, which
Mhm.
is a lot to take in. And I know that you struggled with this, wanting to get it right. There was so much, and not getting hooked, because what I see is a lot of people come in and all of a sudden they start getting hooked into that diet mentality of, well, I've got to do
Yeah.
it this way. How did
Yeah.
you move past that and really just say, wait a minute, this is information. There's some structure here, but I
Mhm.
get to decide where I'm going to put things away.
I love this question because
Mm,
at my core, I really am a really crappy rule follower.
me
I'm really,
too.
I'm really an anarchist. I really don't, which is so funny
Yeah,
because what I do is I help people with
I know.
structure. And my life is very structured, but it's not too structured. And so when I first started working through the program, I was like, oh God, I'm not going to do this right. And I remember I wouldn't leave module 1. I was clinging on. I was like, oh, I'm going to learn and absorb all of it. I'm like, one of those students that's at the front of the class. I'm like, I got to know it and I really got to
Yeah.
kill it. Right. And you were like, Lisa, just keep going, just keep going. And I was really glad that you put your foot on my butt about that, because I had been hovering there for about 3 weeks. And you're like, no, really, it'll come. And it's like with anything, you just have to kind of get the overview first,
Yeah.
and then you go in and then you start really, really working through all of the details. So yeah, the E program has worked beautifully for me because, and Miss Nonconformist,
Mm,
because because now I know what works for my body, and that's what you're always talking about. It's like every body is different, and so you really need to be paying attention to the signals that your body is giving you all day long. And since I'm aware of that now, when I'm hitting a slump, I don't automatically just go for the bag of chips and a Coke, which is what I I did
mm,
it for years. Now I think, what sort of protein have I had? Did I just eat carbs without a balanced protein? Am I eating enough vegetables? Do I need some more water? And that's just shifted everything. So it's become really easy. And that, I think at about maybe like the 6-week or 8-week mark, I guess it was about the 8-week mark, I had lost like 13 or 14
mm.
pounds. I was like, oh my God, and I kept saying, I was like, this is like a trick, right? Like this
I
was
know,
too
because you
easy.
really wanted it to be hard. Like
I
this should be
really want
hard.
I was very invested in it being hard, because every other thing that I have ever done in order to lose weight has been really hard. It's been super rigorous. It's been working out like a crazy person. It's been monitoring every single calorie, making sure that I had enough calories that I could have my cookie at the end of the day. All of those sort of things.
Yeah.
And this is not that at all. And I was losing weight, and I wasn't even like working out. I was just doing what I normally do, which is like walking, which, whatever. So, yeah. So, and I just kept, that was my gremlin for like a month. It was like, this is a trick. This isn't why,
Yeah.
this should be harder. And it's not, and it isn't hard. It's just
No.
not, because it's really just paying attention, knowing what the foundation is, how your body actually works with these different nutritional components in a way that your body will process it and work, that's to your advantage, and just being really smart about it. That, yeah, you don't have to kill yourself to lose weight or to feel better.
No.
You'll feel better immediately. Trust me.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's once you learn the principles, because I try and lay it out so you can actually, it's like tangible in your brain, right? Whether it's the colors of proteins or where your carbohydrates are coming from and where everything kind of fits into, and portion sizes. Once you learn that stuff, you can't unknow it. Like I say that all the time. You can't unknow it. And even if you have a bad day, it isn't all of a sudden like, I'm off the wagon. It's not, because this belief that we can go back. Oh, I'm going to go back to where I started. Well, we can never go back. We're only ever moving forward. So it's always building up on the information. And because it's lifetime access, I think you said you went in and binge watched. You can go in and out of any module at any
Yeah.
time, and you will hear
Yeah.
something new every single time. Every single
Absolutely.
time something else will land for you. Can you talk to me a little bit about, because I love that you lost weight, and I love all the different health changes you saw, from skin,
Yeah.
aches and pains.
Oh,
Can you talk a little bit about that? So some of your like written testimonials and some posts that you put up in the private Facebook group, you gave me permission to post, but I'd love to hear from your own mouth kind of how it's affected your body and
yeah.
your family.
Huge, 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 huge. Okay. So along with just not feeling well, I was, and just eating kind of whatever. I have been taking ibuprofen for aches and pains every day for years. Allergy medications every single day for years. Antacids at the end of the day. If I had, a big bowl of spaghetti or something. Yeah, right? None of it. I don't need any of it. I know this is going to sound like I'm like, this is, it sounds fishy, like, and I also made $1 million, but it's true, but it's true.
You made $1 million? You didn't share that with me? What?
Yeah, we're moving next week. No. That'd be great. No, but like my skin really did improve. My nails started getting stronger. It was like all of those because I'm sure I really was truly malnourished, from not like overeating calorie wise, but nutritional wise, it was just, not very helpful. So yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So yeah, I realized maybe about 2 months ago, it's like, I've joked about being the walking pharmacy. I always have. I have all these allergies. I always have some ache and pain. And so I always have a little thing in my purse that just has a bunch of different random drugs in it. And I haven't used it. I dumped half the stuff out of it because I'm like, I don't even need this. Why am I carrying this around? Because it was symbolic. It was like, I don't need this. My body is whole because I'm taking care of it. And I don't need all this other support. This is
Absolutely.
Just, yeah.
And how huge is it to have, because skin, especially when we're working with the public, and, that's a way that women hide, is when we have eczema or we're getting breakouts or what, we use that as a way to hide. Right. And then we eat because we don't want to be seen, and, round and round we go. So that's huge that your skin has cleared up as well. That's a really big thing. And your energy level way up, which means that you've got more to bring to your business. And I've talked about that within my own business, is this self-care plan that I have in place when I'm running my 10 days of you challenge. And even with that, even with eating healthy, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And a lot of women are running at this pace all the time. And I often say that people don't even understand, the women I work with don't even understand how crappy they feel until they feel better. And that's kind of what happened to you. It was like all of a sudden you're like, hold on a second here. I'm feeling better. My skin's changing. I don't have aches and pains. I'm losing weight. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, a daily headache was my norm.
Wow.
That was my norm.
That's unbelievable.
It's not. Now it's like hormonal. I'll get like a headache once or twice a month now instead of every day. Yep. It's very food. Cool. It's just food.
Totally food, right? So it's all about choice. So talk to me about, and water. Talk to me about the private Facebook community, because to be honest, I love what I've built inside the classroom, but one of my biggest goals with moving my course online was bringing together a global community of women that actually were able to hold space for each other compassionately, with empathy, and looking around going, wow, I'm not that unique. So I love my big open Facebook group, although, with over 1,400 women in there now, it is a big container. Whereas the classroom space is much smaller. I think we're up to 72 women inside the classroom right now, which is awesome. But talk about that environment, because that is through my lens, it's such a beautiful, healing, supportive community. How has it been for you in terms of making sure you stay in the room? Because when you've had habits with food that haven't been supportive your whole life, it's really easy to turn and walk away, right? And I always say, stay in the room, stay in the room, stay in the room. And I believe community is a big part of that. So can you talk on that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. The group is magnificent. I've made a lot of really good friends in that room, and it's so beautiful to watch, because we really do all have very similar stories. It's not that our paths have been the same, but the stories are often really similar. So, we ended up in the same sort of place with the same sort of mindset issues, self-abuse issues, where we're just not taking care of ourselves and bending over backwards, being really big givers to other people, and really putting ourselves at the bottom of the list, and being able to just pop in there and say, I'm having a rough time. This was my decision, that my food decisions look like this today. And have other people just come in and say, yep, you're okay. That's fine. Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
And also to have victories. I love it whenever we have those victory threads in there, because it's like all those small wins, like, I didn't get on the scale this week. Yay.
Huge.
Like I'm breaking my cycle of having to have this validation of being on the scale in terms of, do I feel good in my skin, and what total BS that is, and what a great thing it is to be able to break away from that. We all have these little things that are really worthy of celebrating,
Absolutely.
That's a big deal. So yeah,
it is. And that's what today was, well, the other day, I don't know what day I'm posting this, but day 10 of the challenge is all about victory.
Yeah.
And that group, it's not just talking about food and, hey, what did you have for breakfast? Although you can ask that and you'll get answered.
Yeah.
It's also about, wow, this just happened in my life. And I totally realized that this triggered me. I had an encounter with my in-laws, and now I'm sitting here, in the bulk aisle. Help. It's all about, and I talk about this in terms of how we circumvent, I think that's the right word, addiction.
Mm-hmm.
When those cravings kick in, when we actually reach out and connect, those little conversations can actually pull us out of there. And what's so important about a supportive community that isn't made up of your family of origin, and they're not necessarily your best friends, right? These are women that were, from around the world, is it provides this container where there's no emotional attachment to each other other than to just be there as, okay, we're all going to be in this together and support each other through it, and just stay in the room. So I am so grateful to have you in the classroom. I've loved doing this little interview series because I've gotten to connect with so many of you, and many like you, I've had the opportunity to work with one-to-one, but often a lot of my students I haven't. So these kind of little mini interviews lets me get to really know you guys as well. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for being part of my dream and the classroom, and being so supportive of everybody else in there, because quite often you're the one that starts the victory thread. And I'm like, she beat me to it. And it's not even beat me to it. It's like, it's Friday already? How did that happen? Right? I need to get more organized with my posts.
Yeah. I'm just a cheerleader. So yeah.
I love it. It's important.
It is. And, I think like together we rise, if we're all in this together. So why not celebrate the hell out of each other?
Exactly.
I think that's
so what would you say to somebody? Because I always ask this question. What would you say to somebody who's sitting on the fence, nervous about starting because, they failed a gazillion times? Because that's the truth. When people get to me, I often say I'm like the last stop on the road. Like, this is it. They've done everything. Yeah. They're afraid to invest in themselves because we're talking, a lot of the women I work with, it's self-worth issues underneath it all, whether it be clutter or food, it's self-worth issues, and spending that money on ourselves, especially when we've spent so much money already on so many other programs and we haven't done anything with them, and like the gremlins just come up, right? What would you say to somebody who is sitting on the fence? Because of course I can't guarantee anything to anybody, nor can you, but having been through the program, what would you say to them?
Right. That there's nothing more important. There's nothing in your life that is more important than yourself. Not your husband, not your kids, not your partner. You're the most important, and you deserve to be treated with love and respect. And this is the first place to do it.
Cool. And I'll add to that by saying, you have to eat till the day you die. You have to eat till the day you die.
Yeah.
And, it's like, you got to do math till the day you die. You got to be able to write till the day you die. To me, it's, if you're struggling with feeling like a noose is around your neck because you're not understanding food, this definitely lays, the EAT program definitely lays that foundation where you will never be able to say that you don't know anymore. And that's a pretty amazing investment for the rest of your life. And you have lifetime access. So there's no on or off. You can come in and out as you need to, and just stay in the room. Stay in the room. There's no end to it. So thank you.
It's just brilliant, and you're welcome. But I think just to add on to that, it's not as hard as you think it's going to be.
No,
it's really not. And all of those things that you have tried before have brought you to this point. And this is the point where you can really affect long-term, lifetime, permanent change. And there's no price tag on that. It's your health. It's the way that you feel in your body every single day. And you think about, like, as a professional organizer, I see what people spend their money on. I'm in people's finances.
So
I help
true.
them with their stuff. I know it firsthand, up close and personal. And there's no judgment in that, but every choice we make, leads us to where we are. So if we can choose to take care of ourselves by choosing to not buy this thing, go on this trip, go out to eat for weeks and weeks, whatever. So, it just comes down to choice, and it's a fabulous choice. So
thank you. Well, I love it because I created it and I believe in it. And that's why I have no problem talking about it. And I'm right there with you. Sometimes we have to do the things that scare the hell out of us to get to where we need to be. And I've been very transparent about the fact that running my campaign to find my community was terrifying for me. It was terrifying for me to invest that money. And the amount of change I've seen in the women that were there, regardless of if they hop in the program or not, makes it so worth it. And now my dream is coming to life and my community is growing, and that's amazing. And had I not had the courage to take that risk, to make that leap, even when it scared the bejesus out of me, you're watching this, you may not have been touched by that. So anyways, we'll leave it there because I believe everybody can figure out whether it's a hell yes or a hell no.
Absolutely.
The decision that's best for them. And if you do decide to hop into E.A.T, I'm on the inside, Lisa's on the inside, and there's a whole slew of women there waiting to welcome you with open arms and support your journey. Really? Of course, I'm going to be teaching live in October twice a week because I'm going to hit 2 different time zones. So I just decided that. So you know me, I bring it all. So I'm going to be supporting everybody as much as I can. So you'll go through the self-study program and I'll teach alongside the module. And what's going to be amazing about it is we'll have brand new people and we'll have alumni, which brings this amazing kind of like the new people who are feeling a little anxious. The alumni will be able to say, you know what, I've been there. I get it. I understand. Stay in the room. We can do this. And so it's going to be an amazing, amazing dynamic. I'm super excited about it. So thank you for hopping on this call with me today. I appreciate it. I adore you.
I adore you. Thanks for asking me.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I will see you inside the private Facebook group. If you have any questions about E.A.T, you can click the button below, which will take you over and you can find out more information about the program. And the doors are always open. So hop in. Now's the time.
It is.
Bye, Lisa.
Okay, bye. Bye,